July is here and Camp NaNoWriMo is here also. We've got a busy month ahead of us. Hello, it's Edwina from My Craft Orchard. Let me just put my glasses on because I can't actually see without them. Right then, I have printed off Sarah Cannon's Camp NaNoWriMo booklet. This is from Heart Breathings, and she's on YouTube. I'll link everything down below, and I'm going to go through this and I'm going to fill it out on camera in a minute. But before I do that, I want to show you what else I've got here in front of me. Obviously, my pencil and eraser. So, yeah, my lights are shining on this. I've actually got two of these happy planners, different rings in both. And if you look, one's actually significantly thicker than the other. And the reason for that is this one is my series Bible, my ideas, character, plot, all of those sort of things. And then the thinner one is more of a planner, diary, things I'm going to do, ideas, that sort of thing. And then I have, once again, lots of plastic lights are shining, that sort of thing. I have a notebook which is from Creations, the author, this school, and this has actually got Tone River paper in. It's a dot grid journal, and I use this sort of just to recall when I'm writing and, you know, sort of plans. Camp Nano for April last year, I think that was. Yeah, I think that was last year. Plus a notebook with all sorts of notes and, you know, ideas, outlines, scenes, all sorts of stuff. So if you're not familiar with what Camp Nano, let me just turn that over because it is really shining. If you're not familiar with what Camp NaNoWriMo is, it's an offshoot of NaNoWriMo, which is the National Write a Novel in a Month Challenge. 50,000 words in the month of November. October is Preptober, so you're prepping, you're doing your plotting, your character development, all those sort of things in October, ready for November, where you just sit and write your novel. And to win, you do your 50,000 words. If you don't win, it doesn't matter. There's no prize apart from bragging rights, basically. But it's really, really good if you are trying to write a novel, if you're trying to write a dissertation or poetry or really anything, you're trying to get into that habit of writing, these challenges are actually really, really good for that. Now, I've done Camp Nano for a couple of years, I've done NaNoWriMo for a couple of years, and I've never won. I've never hit that 50,000. October I went through Preptober, fabulous, I had a really good month, and then halfway through November I just fizzled out. All my energy, all my enthusiasm and everything stopped. But I'll talk about that later in the year when we get to NaNoWriMo. Today I want to talk about Camp Nano. Now, camp is in July and in April of every year, and it's more of a free-for-all. It's more of a work on your novel or work on your writing type of challenge. It's not like a dedicated amount of words. Some people edit, some people character build, some people write poetry. It's a bit of a free-for-all. So I haven't touched my writing since last November. been busy, haven't had the inclination. The truth is, my writing is the last thing on my list. It really is. You know, I've got 2 businesses, I've got a family, myself to try and look after, and all those things. So the last thing is my writing. So this is why I try to do NaNoWriMo, Preptober, and the 2 camps, because at least sometime during the year I am going to be visiting my writing. That's the plan. Whether it works or not is a different matter. So let me show you what I've got here and why I've got them sitting in front of me. My plan for Camp Nano July is to go through both Happy Planners and to go through this buff notebook with all the notes in, and to go through my author bullet journal and just pull all of the information out and to put them in some sort of order. I've got scenes here, I've got scenes there, I've got snippets of conversation, partly developed characters, partly developed plot. The truth is, it's a mess. All of these notes, all of this information for my novels, because there's 4 in my series, is a mess. Plus there's also other sort of snippets of new novels, short stories and that sort of thing, sort of intertwined in all of this information. Now this isn't the only thing I'm going to be using. I've also got a Polly Pocket with photos of locations and people and that sort of thing, and I've also got the other Polly Pocket folder which has got 20,000 words of my actual novel in it, the first novel that is. I'm going to go into detail in probably the next video into actually what my novel is all about and what I'm trying to do. But each week throughout July I want to sort of update you on how I'm doing, how much I've done. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to come back to the Camp NaNoWriMo booklet and I'm going to fill this in with you. Now this is free. You have to be subscribed to Sarah Cannon's the Heart Breathings channel mailing list to get this, but it is completely free. She does Camp Nano every year, she does NaNoWriMo every year. She's very, very excited. So Sarah Cannon is the author and Heart Breathings is the channel where she helps writers, and she runs writing courses and she runs planning courses and all of those sort of things. So I'm going to run through this. So I've printed this off, I think it was 86%, so it fits into my classic Happy Planner. So I'm actually going to be cutting all of this paper off so it goes into one of those. I also haven't printed the whole thing off. She's got a few sheets like meal trackers and things that I personally don't want to use, so therefore I haven't printed those. I've only printed what I needed. So you've got the front cover and then you've got a quote, which I like, and then you've got the milestones and the rewards, and then you've got the July plan. So this is the plan that you're going to fill out, and she goes into detail of how to do that. You've then got the project title, the goal, the daily targets and any notes. She then also had sprint tracker and that, which I don't use, but I have printed out the 1 to 31 target, progress and notes on there. And then she's also got a game board where you write things in, and say when I got to day 7 I could have a prize, or you know, go out for coffee or something like that. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill out the July plan. So the idea of this is very simple. You write on here all of your commitments already. So these are the days that you're not going to be able to do anything. So I'm going to Planner Fest, so that whole day is completely out. I know for a fact that every Tuesday and Wednesday morning's out. I might be able to get some morning work done, but there is a section in the day that I'm not going to be able to do. Half day on the 8th is out because I'm at craft club, so those are craft clubs, that's craft club. Let's put CC so I know what those are. The 23rd is totally out because I'm doing a green event, so that's like a eco event in the park, promoting rag rugging and things like that. And I have a feeling the last one, that one I'm not going to do because I think I'm going to want to go to a planner meet. I'm going to put that in there just in case there's one there, because it might be there, it might be there, I don't know, or there, but I'm going to put it in anyway, because at least I've blocked a day out. What else is coming up? I don't think there's much else coming up. There's not much else. So to me, looking at that plan, there is a lot of writing in there. There's a lot of looking at. So it says here, mark off the days of the month when you won't be able to work, which I've done. Choose whether or not you want to add in buffer days. If so, how many? So a buffer day is things like allowing for illness, allowing for extreme sort of tiredness, or if you work shifts the day after your shift finishes, you may not want to work that day, and that sort of thing. I think I'm going to actually allow that. I'm going to block off 2 days there to allow for that. And then the way Sarah works it out, she's saying that you take all of these days off you haven't got, and that tells you how many days you've got to write, and then divide that by the target number of words if you're writing words per day or that sort of thing. So my idea is I want to do something every day for my novel. Now that could be a range of activities, so I'm now going to go to here, which is the project title page, and I'm going to make some notes on there. So I'm going to be looking at things like character development, I'm going to be looking at plot, and I want to review all notes, organise all notes, write up any scenes. That's not how you spell scenes, is it? I'm trying to write a book and I can't even spell. I know, that's funny, isn't it? Write up any scenes that I've got in there. I'm going to just leave it at that for now. So that's a bit of a brainstorm of all the things I want to be doing. I'm looking at a minimum, I'm going to give it a time. Rather than words, I think I'm going to give it a time. And so I'm going to give this an hour a day. So let's write that on the bottom here. 1 hour per day. Because I have a window first thing in the morning between 6 and 7 where I've been doing a bit of planning. So I'm going to put 1 hour a day minimum. Now on these half days here, I could actually do that. I'm definitely not going to be able to do it there. I'm definitely not going to be able to do it there. And if you said there's a planner meet and I've done 2 days buffers as a definite no. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days that we cannot do. Okay. So 8 days not available. Now there's 2 ways I could address that. I could say, c'est la vie, I'm not going to be able to write for those days. I've got 8 days, I can't do anything. Or I could say, I'm going to add those 8 days into August. I could say, well, you know what, I'm actually filming this here on the Tuesday, so as of tomorrow morning I could get 3 in, so 1, 2, 3. Or I could double up and say, well, if I'm going to be doing an hour a day, maybe this Sunday here I'm actually going to be able to get 2 hours in. So the decision is, what am I going to do? I think what I'm going to do, because I'm going to Planner Fest, because I'm working and there's a summer fair on Friday for the school and all those sort of things, I'm going to start, and we're travelling, so that's actually another half a day I'm not going to be able to do. You know what, I'm going to make that 10 hours. I'm going to make that 10 hours. I'm going to add the 10 hours to the end and do the first 10 days in August. However, if it comes to a day here or here and I've actually put in 2 hours, then I can take that off that 10-hour total. So I actually do 31 hours. I think I need to keep the time tight. I think I need to say, right, this month I am focusing on this and this needs to be done, rather than, it don't matter, I've got the whole of August, the whole of September, I'll do it whenever, because that's what's been happening. That's why I haven't come back and looked at this, because it doesn't matter, I've got all the time in the world. If I want to do it, then I need to make a plan and I need to follow through and do it. So that's what I'm doing. So I've got 10 days that I'll follow into August, straight on the back of July. However, if I get to 2 hours in a day, I can start reducing that, and I think that's the game plan, definitely. So I know what a rough idea of what it is I want to be doing. So my target, and I'll fill these all out afterwards, is 1 hour per day, and I'm just going to leave it as 1 to 31. I'm going to put 1 hour all the way down there, and then what I will do is I'll say, well, did I do that hour? Now I know the first I'm not going to do it, so that's fair enough, but then come the third I might actually do 2 hours, and my total then, you know, so by then I should have, it should be 4, I'm expecting it to be 3, but then on the 6th it should be 6 hours, and if it equals 6, I'm bang on. So that's what I'm going to do with that. I think I'm going to track 1 hour is my target a day, and then see where I can make up time, or if I lose time, and then sort of make a note as to why. So like for instance, the note there would be Planner Fest. As well, you know, I went to a planner conference all day, there's no way I'm going to do an hour's writing as well. Purely because I'm going away from home and I don't want to take all those books with me. So the next thing is the game board, and with this what I will probably do is colour it in, or put a stamp or a doodle, you know. I might do something like that. It's in pencil so I can rub this out, so I might do something like a nice big smiley face, or maybe a heart or something like that, to say yes, I've achieved this amount. So visually I can see I've achieved my 31. So I will link heart breathings down below, so you can get your hands on this Camp NaNoWriMo booklet. I will also link the NaNoWriMo website down below to tell you, so you can go and have a look, and you can have a look at what that's all about. I'll also put my handle, so if you wanted to, because it's a whole community of writers in there, so I'll put my handle there, so if you wanted to sort of contact me or have a look at how my progress is going and that sort of thing, you can do. And I will see you hopefully next week, if not definitely the week after, with a progress of how I'm getting on. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are ready to do a bit of writing. I hope you're going to join me and thousands of others doing this challenge. I'm fired up, I'm ready to go. I'm so looking forward to going and seeing my characters in the world that I was building before. Excitement overload, I think. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.